I say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Why am I speaking in an accent? I don't know. I was trying to add some flair. I'll say greetings again unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me on another Conscious Evolution. A stream topic, at least today, specifically about why we're here. Right? Can be a pretty loaded question to ask ourselves. Why am I here? But I do believe the answer is kind of simple. And it is simply to be here with one another. That if you're going to be here, you might as well be here fully. You might as well give your presence. You might as well lend your ear to the beings that you're going to be spending time with here. Right? And in that way, in doing so, you will quite literally change the world. Don't look into the light, Mel. I think I missed a few comments. Don't do it. No, stop. Are we here to love ourselves with gusto? No. I'm happy that I didn't read those comments. Hey, Johan's back. Look at us, all wired up.
Big wide.
All double wide up. I'm here because I love being here. And I can be, so I am. That's a nice thing to say. That's Jovan. Love is true. That it is, Connor. That it is.
Hello.
Love is true.
I hope you guys are having nice days.
Bro, my mind is melting a little bit. Being anywhere at all. I love being here as well. And for that reason, I am.
Yeah. Things don't have to be more complicated than that.
And yet my mind wants to make it more complicated than that. Of like just extending it back to the act of actually being here. Not just here, but here on planet Earth right now. I love being here, and I can be, so I am.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a can be kind of thing? That's the thing my mind is going down the rabbit hole of. So, for instance, if you had to cease being a human, can you just go right back to being a human whenever you wanted to?
I don't know.
Like I said, that's something you can do. I would love to know. It would bring up a lot in my mind about the whole autonomy, and I believe, at least I believe, there's some sort of egotistical reason to want to believe that we chose to be who we are.
I still don't know the answer to that. It's fun believing it, but it's one of those, like, I don't know if we'll ever actually be able to know. Like, I wish, I've been trying these days to come up with, like, experimental ideas for, like, testing some stuff, because, I mean, like, it's fun thinking about, like, okay, we have these thoughts, but, like, is there actually a way that we could, like, sit down and attempt to measure or, like, figure some of this out?
So it's interesting that you asked that question, because just in listening to you talk, I started thinking about this one friend I have that goes down like past life regression and like sitting with teachers and like paying ridiculous amounts of money to have himself analyzed, and then they like tell you about the past versions of yourself that you've been and how many times you've come to Earth, and like there's a whole community of people that are really into that. But for me, like I don't know if I value that information, right? And like talking to that friend as well, he'll start getting into that, and I'll kind of like feel myself almost like shutting off in the same way that I imagine my dad shuts off when he listens to some of the things that I must say.
It's interesting. That's why we get to believe our own things.
Yeah.
But to me, I would love to figure out a way to actually be able to like test a claim like that, because that's always the problem with this stuff for me. It's like there's no way to really test whether something is true or not. Like, how do you test whether you actually were that previous person? It's just hearsay.
Yeah.
And that's the part that like always.
I think the thing that gets me with this friend that I have is that he'll go into a lot of like this is how things are, and it is this way because I know that I have been this thing. And like
Uh,
now it's up to you to almost like realize that I am right because you'll realize that I have been this thing.
yeah.
And like that is like, and I'm like,
That's
no.
such an interesting like direction of thinking.
Yeah, it is very curious. It is
I
very
don't think it's
curious.
naturally wrong. I just think it's interesting.
It definitely has allowed him to experience life through a particular lens, the lens of his own. So, and in that way, I believe that is what we're also here for in today's
Yeah.
stream topic. Jovan. Jovoy, it's been a while. Yeah, it's nice having you here. I was just talking about how, like we're doing the vertical streams and now the horizontal streams with Johan. And I mentioned that some of our friends don't particularly like it because you watch on TV. And one of those friends is Joy V.
Ah,
Joy V is a friend that watches the streams on TV.
you can actually, yeah, that's true.
Like, I'll punch it in a bit.
Suddenly close.
Suddenly, more of the pixels that real estate your screen are Johan and me. Hey, Gobbity Gooby here too.
Hello.
Whoa, I am here? Why? Good question. The answer that I keep coming up with is because love is true, right? That your parents loved, and their parents before them loved, and then their parents before them loved. And then you keep loving enough to breathe air and to eat food. And that's why you're here. What we do with that information is definitely interesting. I find myself asking, why am I here? Or not necessarily why am I here as much, but how many times I've been here. I've asked that question around you probably a bunch of times as well. It's like, how many times have I done this? Right? Because I am acknowledging that I'm here right now. I'm acknowledging that we are. I'm acknowledging that we're here for a reason. I'm acknowledging that reason is to be together. And then after I've acknowledged all of these things, I come to the conclusion of how, if I can acknowledge all of these things and like feel the significance of a moment like this, it can't be the first time. All right. It can't be the first time that I'm here. Is it? And then we're back to the whole thing of like multiple lives. All right. And for me, it's not so much a multiple lives thing as it's for me there's infinite complexity and there is an infinite amount of things that can arise within that infinite complexity. And within that infinity, I am of it. And within that infinity, I am a part of it infinitely. Right? So it is the kind of like a cyclical thing.
Yeah, it is an interesting discussion on like if you've been you in a different part of the universe over and over and over because it is infinitely big as far as we know. But that goes under the assumption that it actually is infinitely big, which
I can't know.
we can't know. And it's so interesting to me because like you're right, it is possible. We think it's infinite, but we can't see past a certain point. Which is crazy to me if you also like it's just you have a bubble around you. That's what you'll ever
The
see.
observable universe.
You'd have to move so fast to go to a different place to see more of the universe.
We're so well positioned to observe the universe at this point in our history as well.
Yeah.
Yowski Bob, thank you. Love to you, Gabbity Goo. Yo Bizzle, did you gizzle memorizzle? Gum sizzle. I don't know what it means for shizzle, but I love you, my brizzle.
I'm Brazil.
Loving YouTube Live. Did you guys see 7 years in Tibet? They're live streaming the building of the Sun Mandala. That sounds sick. No, I did not see that.
What is that?
Let's check it out though. The Sun Mandala. I'm gonna have to search more. That's not enough.
You could probably filter for live channels.
I don't know if it is live, but maybe.
Didn't you say he's a live stream?
7. Yeah, he did say about Hoopy speaks in riddles, so you can't trust what he says. And you can take offense to that if you want to, but you know it's true, bro. You pick that stick for yourself. I'm just swinging it.
I don't see any.
7 years in Tibet. 7 years in Tibet's a movie from the 1997.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
Dude.
I like live stream. Now I'm gonna reference this movie from 27 years ago. I'm not sure.
I don't know if we're
I don't know if I even found the right
Yeah,
thing.
dude, I don't know if we're in the right place.
They're live streaming the building of the Sun Mandala. I don't know if I found it. It's the Bed House. It's the Bed House on YouTube. Okay, let's try that again. The Bed House. Not 7 years in Tibet. The Bed House. Sun Mandala. Yay! We actually found it. Nice. It is called the Bed House US Menla Online. And that's the Sun Mandala.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I know what they're doing. Yeah,
They literally have like little tubes filled with colorful sand, and then they're lightly tapping it. Slowly but surely. Depositing the machines. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? That is cool. Thank you, Hoopy, for bringing some attention to
Yeah.
this. Artisanal. And the best part is that they're just going to, like, after making this beautiful work of art, it's going to be wiped away. I'm so happy they're live streaming. Look at
Yeah,
this.
that's
freaking
very cool.
monks.
Like I'm gonna go find that channel and just leave it up.
Yeah, look at me, subscriber. Good. Subscribers. Now I can see sun mandalas being made. This is the final day. So this is the last. It's the last one. Started an hour ago. And they did like an opening prayer.
That's
super
very cool. Thank you for this little tidbit of the internet.
That's
I
a
will
lot of
treasure it
effort.
now.
Like, look at this. Like, this is a cool. I think this is a cool shot. You can see how he's adding like some lines, some yellow lines. And right now, I'm showing you. Look, he's gonna add some more yellow line there. And let me line. Yeah.
Bro.
That's so cool, dude. I'm hyping up monks.
I don't know if they'd be happy with you hyping them up. I feel like they'd be like, hey, stop it.
Stop. This is
God,
sacred.
Yeah, this is sacred.
It's sacred to be hyped about beautiful things.
But that's the whole point of their entire thing.
This is my sacredness.
Is they're making beauty and then wiping it away because it doesn't matter.
But it matters to me. And that matters. that some things can matter to some people. Yes, please. I really did look at the whole Buddhist way of living, but I couldn't.
I also can't do it.
I couldn't. Like, it is not exactly my life path. There's a streamer that started on Arpan with me called Bante. Monk Life, I believe his channel is. And it's so interesting again with the whole conscious evolution. You know, how our lives have diverged, right? And I get to see him successfully doing what he's doing. But he's doing that thing, right? And then I think about my life and how we did, you know, like, for instance, he would like scroll from my live stream to his, right? And people would scroll back and forth and they would like ask questions of us in each other's streams, and we would like
That's
have
cool.
crosstalk like that sometimes. So there was like a connection that I felt with him being in his own way for the world, you know, a spiritual presence. But at the same time, I cannot imagine myself going down that same path, right?
I understand.
And I wonder why, because I think, the part of me that wants to like believe in righteousness or, you got it, Memscatties. I got so many Musquats bites again today. I can feel them.
Yeah, there's nothing you should have put on some. I'm gonna go do that.
Some deep,
I have peaceful sleep.
peaceful sleep. Nice.
I hope you guys don't hear bottle spray.
I'm doing better. Just opened the gallery space of my school. turned out better than expected. Bless. I remember you telling us about that project you were working on. I'm happy that it went better than you expected. I remember telling you that it would. Takes full credit, yes. I knew it, I say. But I knew it because you showed up, friend, and you thought about it, right? Like it meant something to you. I'm okay, thank you, bro. That smell doesn't serve me.
Really? I actually kind of like it. I kind of like it.
No.
It's like I don't know why I like it.
For me, it's like, I mean, maybe you like it because of the association of maybe less mosquitoes.
Yo, dude,
But
my
for
house
me, like with my tisms, the smell thing, like I'm so sensitive to it, and it's when I smell it, it's almost like having a green steak run up my brain. Not the steak as in like a piece of meat.
like a steak.
Yeah, like a piece of wood, right?
Yeah.
But it's very green. And it's rough and it's dry. And it's all the way up my nose.
Dude, that's so strange to me, dude. The smell has never bothered me that much.
Yeah, having tisms.
I am wafting you. I'm sorry.
I'm coping. I'm like 5 billion light years in that direction.
I am fucking freaking out, but I'm okay. I'll figure it out.
I do believe in past lives and different places of existence, but I think you only have access to your current form of existence only. I think I believe that too. I think almost that's almost a part of the shtick, like a part of the rules. Like that's a part of the experience you're here to have. If you were carrying with you every single one of your past lives, you'll be bogged down, like big time. Like you won't be able to be present for this experience because this experience is gonna go through the filter of just one extra life. Oh, I remember when my mom in this life said that similar thing. Oh, I also remember when my aunt in this other life said that. Like Yossi, now instantly spaghetti in your brain.
Yo, dude, imagine trying to keep that all together.
No, I don't want to imagine. And so I do agree.
Yeah.
I do agree, Joy Vive, that there's kind of like a point to only remembering what's right in front of you.
To also reiterate that point, I also believe that you are like, in a way, everyone starts at the same point, and then like you're all the same. You've been everybody else. You're literally everybody. It's just you only get to remember the one that you wake up in at the time. That's the entire joke.
Thinking about a Rob the Universe song, right? You say that.
Yeah.
We also had Joy Vive say, it's just like the opinion, but the past life regression stuff is just pure delusion.
Yeah.
It's just a story. But so what? We're all experiencing life differently.
Yeah.
And in our own personal delusions. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why also, like, I don't try and dismiss. I hope that's clear. When I have conversations like these, I never dismiss someone telling me this information. But I never, and maybe there's a certain, I don't know if it's jealousy. Maybe it could be. Longing for, misunderstanding of, inability to conceive. Believing that, right? It's like how did you get to the point where you believe this?
Did you and I watch the Oki's Weird Story where he becomes like the secret alien space force like whistleblower and he like talks about his experience? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, wait, I'll show you the
Oki's what?
Oki's Weird Stories. I swear you showed me this channel, dude. I'm gonna...
Maybe some version of me did. And then I got Men in Black to forget about Oki's Strange Stories. Kimberly and...
This dude.
Oh! Wait a sec. Oh, yeah, like you're showing me. I just saw Moist Critical for a second. My mind was like, I know it was Moist Critical. And
no,
he's not
top one,
showing me
top one.
Moist Critical.
So...
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this video at some point, but basically this guy sits down and he gets fascinated by this like conspiracy theory that the Nazis actually left and have been
Went to
on
the moon
Mars.
ba- oh,
And like
Mars?
they went to the moon, they went to the moon, and then they went to Mars, and they're actually the Fourth Reich, and they have super soldiers that they fight Martians with, and like they abduct people, and they like you can remember your past life. It's a crazy conspiracy.
I'm guessing this is like some guy that went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, he went down the rabbit hole of it and was like, this is fascinating. How are these people? So he decided after learning all the lore, he wrote his own story. and like pretended to be this like influential figure that was abducted, and like all these weird stories, and like all the previous camps that he's been in, and he got to like the highest level of talking to the biggest content creators and everybody, and he said like he realizes that he could just do this, like if he wanted to, he's fooled everyone, he could just keep lying.
Like, I mean, I remember, I think maybe I showed you the whole birds aren't real TED talk of that guy who started that movement, and it's kind of same vibes of just this dude who goes, yeah, I'll just build a conspiracy theory and see how many people I can get to believe in it, bro. And it's stark and shocking how many people will believe things like that, bro. And I even worry about that myself. I can notice how some of my decisions and choices have been influenced by my influences, right? The things that I idolize or think is valuable in my life has definitely shaped what I value, right? And what I want to acquire. However, like when it comes to like levels of, if we're going to use the word delusion, like is there no stopgap, right? At what point, like again, and I'm asking all of these questions purely from the place of how can we ensure we don't get there? Like how can we ensure we don't lose ourselves in the sauce, if you will? How can we stay undelusional? Hey Google, is there any specific way to check your delusions? See what this language model says. This is for informational purposes only. For medical advice or diagnosis, consult a professional. Stop that, Google. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. If you're concerned you may be experiencing delusions, it is important to talk to a mental health professional. Okay, so in the meantime, change your thoughts. Challenge your thoughts. When you have delusional thought, try to challenge it by asking yourself if this is really true. Is there any evidence to support it? Okay, checks out. Step one, I do that. I do that. If I find myself thinking some skizzy stuff, I'll be like, wait a second,
I need to Google this.
And for me, more than like the thoughts that I need to have challenged, it's almost like I'll have a thought, and then I need to challenge the thought. I'll think about stuff, and I'll be like, why am I even thinking about this? Like, that will be not even like, is this something I'm supposed to be thinking about? I shouldn't be. Talk to someone you trust. Talking to a trusted friend or family member about your delusion. I feel like they're really leaning into like delusions being like a big deal, bro. Get enough sleep. Good advice. Practice relaxation techniques, something that you mentioned as well today, and avoid alcohol. Yeah, that's good advice. That's good advice.
That is good advice.
All of us should follow that advice. Experiencing life or illusions. Generously. Thank you for your generously. I believe Jovan gave a bunch of memberships to our friends, and Gavadigu was amongst them.
That's very cute.
So generous. I do believe in past lives. Again, does your family ever watch your stream, LT? Never. I say that without hesitation because I believe it. If they've ever watched my stream, they haven't told me, which maybe is the plan. Maybe they're doing that on purpose.
They're like, I'm spying on
I'm
you.
actually watching you all the time.
All the time.
You don't know. Like, it's either that or they've never watched a single one of my streams. Yeah. I think I've played one of my streams to my mom. There was like one day where I feel I reached a particular point in the conversation that I was like, I wanted my mom to walk through that with me. But that's the closest to them having experienced one of my streams that I think I've gotten. Experience the current form. Okay, I'm a skeptic too, Joy, but there are a lot of stories about 3-year-olds talking about past lives, referencing real people and real events, kind of mysterious, but then eventually they forget, right? And there's something curiously to be said about that as well. It's like, why do we forget our past lives? Enjoy the impermanence. You know, you don't have to be monastic to be a Buddhist. Monastic? Hey Google, define monastic. Monastic is relating to monks or monasteries. This is the most common usage. I don't have to be a monk to be a Buddhist.
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah, I know that as well. And I do apply some Buddhist principles in my life. I hope that's very clear, right? But again, I am specifically talking about the monastic lifestyle, right? Because a part of me wanted to believe I was on it. Maybe I should say that, right? I felt like I was kind of being a monk in my own way, right? With my own type of self-isolation and my own type of spiritual pursuit and my own type of meditation and then I realized, kind of like in observing real monks, that I'm actually not. Right? And for me it was like, curious. Interesting. What am I learning about myself? What am I here to experience? Again, right? I'm not here to experience being a monk. I'm here to experience being a melt. It's true though. It's true.
It's true.
The stories from toddlers aren't known to be the most reliable. I told my parents a story after I came back from drowning about seeing the golden paths, the walking golden paths. Right, but again, is that a reliable story? Who knows? The Musquatch strike again. I like the smell of gasoline. Hey Google, is gasoline made to smell nice on purpose? Instantly, my conspiracy theory is like, no, gasoline is not intentionally made to smell nice. The smell of gasoline comes from the various hydrocarbons it contains. That's fantastic. Breathing hydrocarbons. That's not good. That's not good. Which are naturally present in crude oil. Some of these hydrocarbons have a pleasant odor, but others are quite unpleasant. The overall smell of gasoline is a complex mixture of these different scents. However, there are some additives that may be added to gasoline to mask the unpleasant odors and to make it smell more distinct. Boom. Fucking they are doing it on purpose, I like, oh no, we're not intentionally, man.
You see,
tell me
I
bullshit.
used to think it smelled okay, and then I tasted it, and then like all the because like if you never sucked like
Yeah.
dude, and then
But
I
you would
fucked
like
it.
when I hear we're tasted something, my mind goes,
No, I fucking hated it. I didn't
yes.
want it in my mouth, and my body has viscerally.
It's like, nope.
No.
For me, it still smells nice, but then as soon as I kind of like catch myself smelling it, I'm like, oh, I'm breathing in hydrocarbons now.
Bye.
And then I close my window, or I hold my breath, or I breathe through clothing, just to try and like reduce the amount. These additives are typically used for safety purposes, such as detecting leaks. That's why, I don't know if you know, but our like gas that we use on our stoves is naturally odorless. We add a scent to
Yep.
that so we can detect gas leaks.
Otherwise, you just die.
Yep, you'll just suffocate. Like that's the big thing. It's not even getting explodioso, it's just suffocation. Glad they've been on the journey with all of you beautiful peeps. I'm always too. Consciously evolving slowly but surely, Connor. Bless you, friend. Every day is a blessing, my dude. We are gifted with breath and consciousness. Today is my next adventure. Tomorrow is a pipe dream until I wake once more. That thought sounds like it's tomorrow's bullshit. Maybe it is. Or maybe it's a reflective way to experience today. I like that. Kung Fu Panda said it best, like when the Kung Fu Panda quote comes out.
I fucking love that.
Today
movie.
is a gift, yesterday is a memory, and tomorrow is merely a dream. None of us are promised another sunrise. True. It's true. I spend very little time worrying about that though. These days at least. I have come to a very calm state of just appreciating being, And at the same time, not added too much pressure in continuing to, right? Like I plan on being alive for 1,000 years. But if I'm not going to like be like buffing my
Yeah.
no.
No.
It's not gonna be who I am. Gasoline tastes as good as it smells. Gulp.
Gulp.
Yeah. If you take like big swigs, that's when it tastes real good.
Yeah.
I hope this is very clear that we're not.
Please don't fucking
Please
drink
don't
gasoline.
drink gasoline. Hey, fellow truth seekers. It's the false identification of the self or the false self. That's the root of the trouble. I think, hot take, the root of the trouble is believing there's a root to the trouble, right? Because then we're like, yes, I can unroot the trouble. But no, we are everything. We and the trouble are, Mikeys. You know what Mikey's means? Mikey's means friends. Yeah, we like trouble. Like you even talked about this. Like to think of it from a perspective of our body fighting parasites or potential external threats, and then if it doesn't have the opportunity to do so, allergies increase because it just starts fighting whatever. Right. Right. It's a kind of in my mind, it's like almost like a joke. It's like we are perpetually in this give and take with the universe right now. And there is no false identification in that, right? You can tell yourself stories about who you are. And in that way, that story might be true to you in this moment. It's not false. It's not necessarily false. Might be false to the whole. But you are seeking your truth. I keep fighting. Keep seeking that truth, bro. That's the thing, right? It's like maybe in being your false self, you have a direction to seek truth within. Right. Boom. Thank you, false self. Thank you. Joe, that's my favorite quote of all time. Other than there is no secret ingredients, and don't quit, noodles, don't noodles. I do love that one too. That one is fire. And are too concerned about what was and what will be. You are too concerned about what was and what will be. Have a lovely one. I keep fighting, dear friend. Day by day, moment by moment, we will continue forward. I'm gonna go and acquire my deck of cards.
It's a good idea because it's gonna start raining soon, and then the sunk roof is gonna make it impossible to listen to anything.
True. I mean, I do have 32-bit float audio, but I do not think it actually translates. It's starting to rain, bro. Good call. You were on it. We'll let our friends let us know.
Yeah.
32-bit float audio is essentially like a floating point, of audio values over 32 bits.
Yeah.
And then it can on this side of the thing, and it has all of this information. So it like instantly
That's pretty cool.
brings the audio into like a kind of equilibrium.
Very cool.
Okay, I think I've read all of these. Now it's just a matter of pulling a card. Johan,
a card.
do let us know when to stop.
Stop.
Dude. Was a big point today to talk about the whole language and speaking up for ourselves thing.
A beautiful card.
Share your voice. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution. Expression. Share your voice. Johan, the human barometer, knows how far away the storms be and when the rain comes. Like he's like, it's gonna start raining soon, and I was like, I didn't think it was gonna rain soon, and literally seconds later, I start hearing drops on the roof. I'm like, wow.
So I didn't actually. One of the craziest things that I've heard recently, and I actually googled it. It's fucking true that we have the best ability to smell rain out of anything that is alive at the moment. We can smell 1 part per trillion worth of particulates, and it's that like. You know that smell of rain that comes up? Like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's called petrichor.
And
it's released by dormant microorganisms that live in the soil, and then they get reawakened when the moisture actually starts hitting.
So sharks can smell blood at 1 billion per meter cubed, and we can do 1 trillion per meter cubed
of rain.
Dude.
That's so
like
curious.
We are orders of magnitude better at like that. Only that at that specific thing, you're better than a dog at doing that.
Curious, why? For like farming?
I don't know. Maybe it was like go to cave.
Maybe like get to shelter because we are naked and
dude, it must
getting
be
very wet might be bad for you. All right. Expression. Share your voice. Share your voice. It says. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed, sculpted for lifetimes. The voice of your soul is like no other. He has more synchronicity. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, but we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and you call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound on the planet. If you have kept your voice silent or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Express yourself, share your voice, speak to those who can hear you. Yo! Very synchronous. Have you pulled one of these cards before?
I have pulled one of them. I didn't pull that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is an oracle deck, it's called. And it seems that way to me. Like every time I pull one of these cards, it's like it knows things. Like I know some shit though. Knows about us talking about sharing our voices. Knows about past lives and like mentions that stuff. And like,
Yeah.
alrighty.
That is very cool.
Let me see. Secret. Johan is the human barometer. If it's not, it's cool. Got the card vibes today. Gotta head out soon though, friends. Bless you. Check out the Discord. Let me know what you think of the project. Love is true. Let's see. Creative space. Yeah, I think so. Very cool. This looks like some
Whoa.
Attack on Titan kind of stuff almost. He's an animator, I believe. Maybe this is not Attack on Titan exactly. This is... I don't know why my mind went Attack on Titan. What do you call this symbol again?
I don't know.
I think it's pretty big in the Jewish world as well. These pieces are very intramustrain.
Mm-hmm.
Did you 3D print? I mean, I don't know if you're here. I probably is 3D print. I can see sections.
It's creepy.
It is
Well
very
done.
creepy, yeah. I think that is the point of his art style, it seems. Look at him, bro, being displayed. Having a space for his work.
Interesting. Very
I'm
cool.
happy that you got it done. I remember him talking about being worried about, the project as well. Thank you, dear friends. The model was 3D printed, and that was a render of it on a forever turntable.
Ah.
Oh, in the background.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. Is that like a school thing? Or was it like a studio that approached you? I don't know how to say that. Might not be here anymore. He did say he was leaving. But very cool. Thank you for sharing your work with us, bro. Mala, have a lovely one. I'll keep fighting. You mind if I get a card for old time's sake? No, that was the. Oh, I think I missed that message. That was under the barometer one. Connor, your art is great. Thanks for sharing. Might already be gone. Yeah. JV said that 2 minutes ago, and it's now 27 minutes past.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, friends, for joining. We pulled a card. We got synchronized.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Johan perfectly predicted that it will start to rain. You can let us know if you can still easily hear our voices. Even if I speak a little bit louder, can you still hear me fine? Ideally, 32-bit audio should be able to actually do that. But who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. But you do now. Thank you, friends, for knowing that this moment is why you're here. And look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you again. Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, friends.
Stay safe.
Love you. Come on.